Hi, I'm the Scrub and you're here for one reason.
Man, I dislike daylight savings time.
Why's that?
Well, we go forward an hour in time, so I lose an hour of my life just because everyone says so. And I don't like coming out of it because we gain that hour back and it throws my sleep schedule out of whack for weeks.
Well, if you don't like going forward and back so much, you probably shouldn't have queued up for this one. Time to learn about the heart of the creator. Simplified. Pull and kill the two actuator zeros. When they have both been defeated, the barrier will lift and you'll be able to take the conveyor belt to the next area. There will be one actuator zero and two normal actuators. Kill the three of them while watching out for their AoEs. The zeros can cast point blank AoEs and the normal ones can cast donut AoEs. After the cutscene ends, head down the next conveyor belt to the final area. You are going to skip a lot of mechanics in the duty finder, but I will try and explain mechanics as they would normally happen as best I can. Cruise Chaser will cast optical sight. Several party members will get a yellow arrow over their head with a point blank AoE around them. Just spread out and avoid overlapping these. If your DPS is low enough, Cruise Chaser can cast Photon. This will cause several party members to be damaged to exactly 1 HP. Healers be ready if Cruise Chaser starts to cast this one. An ad will spawn in called EDD. Off-tanks can take this and everyone else can nuke it. If you don't kill it in time, it will self-destruct and cause high damage to the party. Spin Crusher is a small conal AoE directed at the main tank. If you get hit by this, it is a small knockback. Cruise Chaser will cast Optical Sight again. This one is a large AoE in the middle of the arena. You will need to get right out towards the wall in order to dodge this attack. If you get hit by this, it is a fairly damaging hit with a Vuln stack. There will be an electromagnetic coil that will drop into the arena. If you get hit by this AoE, it will give you a medium-sized knockback. The off-tank will then be targeted with GA100, which is a massive flare marker. The off-tank will need to move away from everyone else, as if you're too close to the flare marker, it can easily one-shot anyone who isn't the off-tank. After this, you'll need to get away from the electromagnetic coil as it will explode in a large AoE. If you end up seeing the next optical sight, it is a chandelier drop. 2 AoE circles will spawn on opposite ends of the arena. There will be more AoEs that will spawn in clockwise around the arena before finishing in the middle. The easiest way to dodge this mechanic is to start in the middle and then move to where the first AoEs were as they go off. It can also cast left or right laser sword, which is a 210-degree AoE on either side of the boss. Just move to the opposite side to dodge it. After this point, or when you get Cruise Chaser below 50% health, it will teleport into the middle of the arena and give everyone a small knockback and become untargetable. It will then spawn 4 interactable open ducts. You have 5 seconds to interact with one of these ducts. If you don't do this, you will die to the ultimate. Following this, you will need to perform the Active Time Maneuver. In this quick time event, you will have the grueling task of pressing a single button or else you will die. You will have 4 seconds to press literally anything and survive the mechanic. When you do this, you will be launched back into the arena, the ultimate will finish performing, and Cruise Chaser will return to the arena. After the ultimate, the wall will become electrified. If you run into or get knocked into the wall, it is a hard-hitting electrocution dot tick. If your DPS is low enough, Cruise Chaser will return to the arena but be invincible. It will cast Limit Cut, gain a stack of damage up, and summon 4 Lapis Lazuli balls into the arena. Throughout this phase, there will be untargetable bits that will move around the arena and target random party members with narrow straight line AoEs. If you get hit by any of these, you'll be inflicted with a Vuln stack. If you have any Lapis balls left in the arena when Cruise Chaser casts the move Eternal Darkness, it will enrage and wipe the party. However, not only will normal duty finder almost never see the Lapis balls, the balls don't have a lot of health either. When it casts Eternal Darkness normally, it is a room-wide AoE which will create a burn debuff on all players for the remainder of the fight. It will then cast Limit Cut, gain a stack of damage up, and become invincible. It will create a plasma shield in front of itself. You must be in front of Cruise Chaser and the shield in order to be able to damage it. The longer you take to destroy the shield, the more stacks of magical damage up Cruise Chaser will get. If you take too long to destroy the shield, it will gain a haste buff for 30 seconds and all of its attacks and auto attacks will go out much quicker than usual. After the shield is broken, the main tank will get a red circle symbol over their head. This is a straight line AoE that will give out a bleeding debuff to the main tank and can potentially one-shot anyone else caught in this AoE. After this, 2 more electromagnetic coils will drop into the arena and the bits will return with their narrow straight line AoEs. Dodge them as best you can. One party member will get this red orb above their head and the debuff Prey. This person will have 3 medium-sized AoEs hit them after a few seconds. This person will need to move away from the rest of the party to avoid any extra unnecessary damage. Another optical sight AoE will go off, and then shortly after this, the boss will cast Propeller Wind. This is where you will have to get behind an electromagnetic coil and line of sight the attack from Cruise Chaser. If you don't do this, you'll be hit with an Assumerable Confusion debuff and attack your fellow party members for several seconds. Then one electromagnetic coil will explode as Cruise Chaser casts the optical sight which targets several party members. The EDD will spawn in again. The off-tank will need to take this as it now has a tank buster that can cleave and seriously hurt any non-tank, and will also be a knockback if you don't avoid the second half of the tank buster in time. From here, Cruise Chaser will repeat mechanics until it is defeated. Congratulations, you have beaten A11. My name is the Scrub. Thank you for watching.